Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the channel. This is a MoisTea gaming video. All is currently well on the front lines. I did a rejig to counter the enemy's forever changing numbers on the lines. Try and catch us out. For example, here are now 9 cores where they didn't have that many before, meaning I've had to grab some from somewhere else to reinforce this region. I've done that happily. It takes about 10 minutes each turn, not gonna lie. I'll save you the pain of watching that. We can get straight into the action. We attacked from Ghent into Ypres just last turn. We did manage to smash them. And we need to end the turn, meaning we'll be one step closer to acquiring tanks and things. Will the enemy attack? No, they won't. They don't like doing that at the moment. Lots more cash in. That means we could get more planes. And supplies. They're steadily rising. Let's have a look at this. The French have fielded a new tank model. Oh, no. That is much faster than the British tanks. I've still not seen either of these. And as a rotating gun rather than fixed positions. It is proving to be an annoyance, and we must convince the French that these tanks are not worth producing. So they want us to smash them to bits. Problem is that I've not actually seen any that they have fielded. And they are definitely not in the area that I'm wanting to attack either. So whether we could do this is another question. Looking at the tech, we experimented with some chlorine gas last time. I felt we need something more potent. Gonna have to go for Horgene gas. That's the next one, I think. See how that works. We also need tanks of our own. I'm not having them have them while we don't. So we're going to have to get closer to this tank warfare tech as quickly as possible. This is just one that we need to get there, which is something I'm not really going to ever use, which is purchasing supply. I didn't even click that, did I? Oh, I did. And now we're going to need 8 more, which means 4 more months before we get the tanks. The enemy have moved their units around again over here. Louisville, they have 6 cores and 4 there, while we have 3 infantry in Saarburg and 3 conscripts in Colmar. Is that 1 infantry as well? Yeah, it is. They can attack us twice at Colmar, so I've got the extra one in there. Whereas they can only attack us once from Louisville. Meaning, if they were to attack and somehow get the great victory, they only could possibly take off 1 star. Bit fringy on all the rest of the lines. Let's have a look here. They now have an 11 stack here. Not looking nice. Well, we have 12 infantry stashed. 7 in Charlton, while we have only 4. We may need to bolster that, steal some troops from somewhere. Metz has 7. I can steal 1 from there and stick it in bouncers, just to be safe. It's going to have to be good enough. It has to be. They have more units than us. So we have to make some difficult decisions. We've got 7 and a 6. We've got 7 in there, so that'll be a good going for them if they manage to take that. This area has flopped off slightly. They've still got plenty of units in Ypres. It'd be good if we can get even more infantry into Ghent. But we need it on the front line. The only units that we can produce, which will give us more supply, are airplanes. So again, I'm going to be producing more airplanes. 2 more air wings are now going into Ghent, which will be then useful in not this turn but the turn after, meaning we'll then have 10, which is an extra 1,000 supply just in this area alone. They give you the free supply. You don't have to purchase it. If you purchase it here, it's 200 supply for 500 quid, which is ridiculous. And that's a one-off. If you purchase the plane, yes, it's expensive for 600 quid, but you get that everywhere, all the time, no matter where it is. It is better than building the supply depot too, in my opinion, because that will give you only 200 more, and that eats into your global supply. And if you were to move the line across, you then don't get any money from that investment. So planes are the answer. There is a tech somewhere actually which will make sure you have even more supply from them. I'm not entirely sure which one it is, but it certainly is on there somewhere. So let's give this another go. Let's attack Ypres yet again. I want this done. I want to take Calais as early as possible, but we cannot stretch our line too thin. That is the goal here. We can attack through here and we will have the same amount of units, if not more, available to us, and we would have hopefully taken the British out. I want to do this now because in the first season we did this right at the very end and we didn't really see the full effect of that victory. So let's get in there. Oh, this says it's a major loss. Really? Aircraft, siege artillery, lots of normal guns and things like that. That is surprising. Is there something that we've missed? Is there something about the province that... There's no tanks there. We've got the intelligence floating around. So we should see any tanks, but we can't. It still predicts a major loss, though. This is definitely interesting. Let's see what we can do about that. We are now here. I do wonder if the enemy will use a pre-battle bombardment. They do have the siege artillery. These are just the original trench work that we did before. They are yet to attack them, so I don't know if this is going to be effective. I'm still going to place the mortars in, which I normally do. I do honestly believe these are the biggest threat to any infantry. We'll stick them around here as well. We'll do that. Let me know what you think of this. Have you seen anybody else try it? It is yet to be tested. We've got the comms trench floating around all the way down at the back in case we need to filter from Y to X, for example, and we need to get there quickly. Last time we attacked this, it was at this direction. We had the raiders and the flamethrowers running first. Now, I want to try it slightly different because it didn't quite work. So, seeing as I often smash the enemy in the beginning, the raiders had nothing to blow up. So when they then went further forward, there wasn't really, you know, the units that in hand-to-hand, they are very costly in supply. Yes, man-to-man, they are very good, but it is still costly in supply, which isn't really an issue, but I like to preserve it as much as possible. So we're going to have the elites run in first, with hopefully nobody in this front line of trench. And then they can run in and start eliminating in hand-to-hand, because we get better supply ratio with them, any units up here. Then I'm going to start bringing in some raiders and flamethrowers, pushing them along and attacking this section of the line with them as they run across. They won't be in a firing line, hopefully. If I do it correctly, say at an angle, we should be okay. Bit of experimentation going on, but I do want to crack this quite well. So I'm going to have 2 flames in the first assault. The rest are the elites, and they are going to go forward. Don't think the French are going to have the tanks here, but we'll see. The enemy have left the flanks lightly defended, which suits me. We can see if we can get some gas usage out of this. We can bombard this to bits. Probably just send 2 bombers around here to deal with this while we destroy the troops. And then start shuffling units across. Gonna have to have men over here to stop them from reinforcing from this direction. We could just murder them all. While we work our way across with raiders, hopefully, blowing them up as they send men through. We can lob grenades at them or singe them a bit with some ultra-hot temperature liquid. I've got so much supply available, it's not even funny. Stick 2 bombers down there, get them doing their job already while we bombard these troops. The enemy always seem to send aircraft in once I've sent the bombers in, so I'm going to send some in as well. So far they haven't. They do appear to be lacking in... there's the aircraft. I've just seen them pop up on the map. Let's get some planes in for ourselves. Oh, they do have a balloon. I just didn't see it. The aircraft are approaching. We could just make sure we eliminate them. I don't mind spending a little bit of supply on making sure that they are done. Simply because if we eliminate their air force enough, they will lose that unit on the world stage. Meaning that they will have to replace it with an extra 600 quid, increasing their drain even further. They are just kind of searching for each other at this moment in time. Their artillery is down here as well. I'm going to send some bombers to deal with that, hoping to get rid of all of their aircraft and artillery before we begin. Will be wonderful. I want rid of the balloon. Gonna have to send some artillery that way, but it's not to worry. The enemy are already reinforcing from this direction. I've set the units to move. They will do that in a minute. Now, I need to make sure that, seeing as there's not much here, and they're just gonna get swapped out, the harassment missions will destroy anybody running around, hopefully. This is a bit of a concern. This unit here, I need to bombard them. Let's give this a bit of a go. We have the suppression mission ready. We've got lots of aircraft coming in now. These harassment missions are going to play us lots of goodies. Lots of aircraft are going down. Excellent news. So many bombers. I love the aircraft in this game. They're just being decimated as they run across. This barbed wire is slightly concerning. Units are approaching. Let's get a suppression on the go. Bombard a little bit of this. The enemy are hitting us, but hopefully our aircraft will destroy them. They are now sending units across. That's destroyed. If I can keep them from doing so, things will be happy. Gas is definitely going to play a role in this campaign, I can tell you that. Excellent. They are in and dead. We should have 2 spares over here. The barbed wire didn't hurt our troops too much, which is very nice. If I can get these in the trench, we are good to go. Looking at the trench work, this is disconnected. The only proper way through is via this section. So if I can funnel units down here over to this area, they will keep funneling troops through this section and we can blow them to bits. While all of this, we can hopefully use the raiders and the flamethrower troops to murder them. Units now being reorganized. We can slowly start bombarding them soon. Harassment planes doing a good job. Let's just keep harassing them. As we eliminate units, they will get weaker and weaker. They are shuffling plenty of men across. We are now also doing the same. Hopefully these get into position before they get too giddy. Need these to come down here a little bit as well. I'm not entirely sure where I ordered everybody to go. Not gonna lie, I can't quite remember. This is what we want the harassment mission for, this here. They are getting butchered because for some reason they are out of the trench. I may have misclicked. I want to get some flames up here, hopefully. Let's get some of these raiders running in. If we can get them down here, ready to go. We are onto a winner already. Let's concentrate on getting these troops in. See, I want units down here as well. The harassment planes are definitely going to be playing a big part in this as they run across. We can just murder them while we bombard this section of trench as well. I just saw a flash of artillery from the enemy in that direction, meaning they are still operational. 2 bombers was not enough. Not too sure what's going on here, but we're going to send the units further across. If they do what I asked them to do, that would be wonderful. While we run these and then around this section over there. Could even run these over here just to be safe. Does appear to be a little bit spazzing out right now, but no matter. These planes are going to be hurting all of these units just floating around. Hopefully they're still bombing the artillery. Not too interested in the balloon at the moment. We can get flame unit down here to flame some of these out. That would be wonderful. Could even do it down here as well. We don't want them inside the trench when they do decide to run across, because they are best outside of the trench. Enemy are a little bit confused, I think, as to what is going on, and I'm not surprised. We are just giving them something new to think about. If we can get those flames into position, that will be wonderful. Let's send these units up a notch. Hopefully they don't all get too confused like normal. Burn these troops out. That will be wonderful. Let's go, chaps. They are getting shot, but they should get burned. Hopefully it works. There we go. Trick is to try and keep them outside of the trench. Can be difficult at times, but that is what you need to do. I can move these troops up. I can even just send a gas down there while we shuffle the units down this way. That is what I want to do. Gonna have to keep at least a couple of units in this direction now. Is the gas knocking them out? I'm not too sure. Let's just get more harassment planes in because we can. These units are now all out of the trench. Excellent. And that we're all being gassed a bit. I think they do have gas masks. Ooh, the stormtroopers murdered anybody coming towards them then. That was nice. Send them that way. Send these across. Not bad. They are murdering them. They are starting to sneak through, but it's not going to do them any favours. Forcing them out of the trench quite happily. Start hitting these a little bit, I think. Any units down here will begin to start shuffling down. And if we have a double hit like this, that is excellent for the artillery. Love it when that happens. Let's keep shuffling. We've secured the control point. Excellent news. These could really do with going home, but that isn't going to happen just yet. We need to keep a couple of units in this section itself so we can send these two units up to guard the section. I may even send a third just so we can keep going. If I can get these out of the trench, we should be able to burn these. They seem to be wanting to. Burning something. So these can burn on the move. That is now confirmed. If we could just run them around. And they don't like that too much. They are getting murdered though from units which are up here, which I failed to see. These need to go home desperately while we shuffle these troops forward when it lets me to replace them. Say we can start bombarding it, but I'd rather bombard these other areas for now, seeing as the men are shooting them quite happily. All these areas, these units will start weeping down, starting to need to replace some of these now. Let's get 2 more up there. We'll get another flame in. See if these flames can murder them from this direction. That would be ideal. Doesn't appear to be that much in terms of this direction. They are starting to slip through. Let's just keep pushing this way slightly and see what happens. We can sneak through. Oh, there's a big juicy lump of them all. That's fantastic news. We can just start trickling down. That would be great. I want to start burning some of these men. I don't think there's anybody down here that can stop me from doing so. So let's do that. Send these to attack them. Lots of burnings going on. Excellent. Quick, get in the trench before you get murdered. Let's gas all of these. That's a good idea. With some harassment planes as well. That will be very nice. These just like burning trenches for the sake of it. Get some more harassment in. Sending everybody over. Don't particularly like it, but they're going in. Seem to have quite a variety of units stashed now. We can shuffle these down. Got plenty of units already over here. We can get these a bit more involved, I think. We have this control all down here. Send these home and shuffle some of these troops in. That might be a little bit better. We can get some flames involved. They definitely keep sending troops this way, meaning if we could control this, we could just shoot them all. More flames coming in. They don't like that. Excellent news. Bombard some of these while we are at it. They must be running out of men now, because they all seem to have disappeared. Let's press on. Planes must have taken out more than what we realised. Get some of those flame troops on that balloon while we send these over here. We have room for more troops to come in. Might as well get a couple of flames and the normal elites in as well. Keep these together and just shuffle them up, I suppose. You can join your buddies over there. In fact, you can come down here and support these if these manage to get into trouble. I do believe that they are now out of supply, really. Balloon went down quite quickly. That was lovely. We need 2 good fresh units to take out the comms trench. Not the comms trench, the command trench. Send those guys in. It would only appear the only remaining resistance is from this direction. Let's see if I can destroy them with the remnants of the heavy artillery that we still have. Start capturing this. I want that out the way, because that will hurt our chaps that get near it. That won't be enough. But I need to reload. I think I'm going to need to. we can get these chaps right near it, we can hopefully stop it. That should suppress it. It does. Let's take this command trench, let's get them started. Let's send in the stormtroopers, but they don't appear until they're in close hand-to-hand, which is usually a little bit too late by that point. Oh, we can bombard this area now, actually. We'll get that sorted. Don't need to deal with that mortar, and I'm going to call this a win. Excellent. Look at this, they're all coming in now, lots of planeage. Just thought I'd send them all in. Well, a good chunk of them anyway. Look at that. Nice. Lots of planeage. That's it, we've done it. Excellent news. Sweep. We have smashed the enemy thoroughly. Let's have a look at these scores. This should be a good one. Oh, even better. No way. We actually made a profit. We lost 1,500 troops. The enemy lost just over 12,000. Yes, didn't they say that it was going to be a big loss for us? I don't know how that calculates it, but I suppose it is what it is. Another big hit to the national morale. We made a profit while the enemy would be now in dire straits. We are nearly close to taking Ypres. Then we can take Dunkirk and then Calais, hopefully before the national will of the Allies disappears. Be sure to leave a comment on your thoughts about the slightly tweaked tactics. Let me know what you think about the massive amount of airplanes we have here, providing an almost unlimited amount of supply. Great tactics in my opinion. What is yours? Thank you for tuning in. In the next episode we will take Ypres and proceed to Dunkirk. Thank you very much for watching. See you later.